big show today. Welcome to the Shoot the Messenger podcast. My name is AJ. Here with me, as always, is Kendra.
Hi, greetings.
Greetings, she says, Earthlings. Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to the show. Once a week podcast, episode number 12. A lot of coldness setting in for the week. Let's start off there. Kendra and I have been working together for about, 3 years now.
Yeah,
three,
like
4
that.
years. Welcome everybody from the public that is joining us now. I finally went public with the show.
Yes.
It's like going public with the stock exchange.
Exactly like that, I think.
Yeah, precisely. Go ahead.
Well, it has been pretty cold throughout the entire Midwest.
Okay.
But we did.
All right.
We trekked out for groceries this week and picked up some fun groceries like the red velvet cookies.
Are you bringing out food already?
I'm bringing up food already.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about red velvet cookies?
Well, we saw these. We saw these on the shelf.
What a strange way to start a show. You're going to shove cookies in their face? Are we sponsored by Chips Ahoy or something?
We could be.
Okay, all right, good. All right.
But
You like
we saw
these?
these cookies on the shelf and we decided to try them. Well, red velvet. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to
The
try the
proverbial
cookies. Yes, the royal we.
Okay, so the red velvet cookies, how do you like them?
I think that they're pretty good. Red velvet is such a unique flavor. Everybody always says that it's supposed
Eat one.
to be like
Prove it.
chocolate.
Eat one and show everybody your face when you eat one.
Well, they say it's supposed to be chocolatey, and the frosting really.
Fine, might as well. It's eating cookies on the show.
The frosting really kind of overpowers it, but it's got that nice cream cheese frosting that a red velvet cake does. So I would say it's honest to the integrity of a red velvet.
So what I'm talking about is we've been brewing our own water in tea. I want to intro the show. I didn't realize for tea you need to steep your tea for a certain amount of minutes. Different tea takes longer because every time I had tea, it was like, just leave the bag in. You take the bag out, it's not bitter. It's not bitter. It takes out the bitterness from the tea. So I brought up this little how to steep tea right here. So like a black tea is 3 minutes. Boom, take the bag out. And then you add your milk and honey if you want that, right?
After it's steeped.
Green tea, 3 to 4. If you do like a white tea, like a nighttime tea, 7 to 9 minutes. So it really depends, and to get proper tasting tea. And I realized I was drinking it way too strong, way too bitter the whole time. I mean, you figure it's like coffee. I like my coffee black. I like boom. I like it strong sometimes. So you leave a tea bag and you think it's stronger, but it actually just kind of ruins the taste.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought that, just like you said, I thought that just stronger would be better, but it is a lot smoother when you actually follow the instructions on the box. Mm-hmm. I mean, who would have known?
No. Europeans might know. Americans don't know. Mm-hmm. All right, 2-degree weather all week. Let's start here. Let's start with the weather. And did you see this? Negative 21 degrees by some people's accounts. How cold did it get here where we live? Traverse City, do you know?
I don't know the lowest it's got. I know, as far as, low, it was in the ones and zeros, and...
Mm-hmm. So you saw a lot of images over the week, like this one. They had to actually burn the train tracks in Chicago. You see this? And they just do this. They don't do I just thought okay, I heard about burning train tracks. This is what they have to do to, keep the trains running. But it's just on the switches, the interchanges. It warms them up. Mm-hmm. Well, so that they can actually move. Yeah, go ahead.
And I was wondering, how is it that they're doing this? Are they, setting fire to the wood underneath, right? But it turns out there's actually some gas pipes that are pushing some gas out that they set fire to. So,
yes.
So they're setting it, it's all very controlled through some gas pipes that they have installed right there.
It's all a part of the plan. Mm-hmm. A lot of people freaking out. Here's a little bit of freaking out. Same area, Chicago, right? Flyover. Okay, you get to see the ice and stuff. But even more ominous is, where did I get this from? This is on ABC News, okay? They got to add the music, okay? I'm going to add the music now. It's going to sound a lot more ominous. The desolateness that is Chicago and ice chunks that are on the ground and...
Weather's dangerous.
The polar vortex.
The power of Mother Nature.
Behold. Anyway, so that's ABC News' take on the polar vortex. We just stayed in all week, really, right?
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, when you can, just don't go out in weather like this.
Yeah,
It's preferable.
People will get restless. This guy went out in weather like this. Let's check this little ferret's reaction real quick. Just a real quick reaction, because we have a story that's kind of causing damage to people everywhere. Look at that. He touches the snow. He don't like that.
What are you doing?
He don't like it. He's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was overreacting. Let's check it out. I love that. Okay, so speaking of which, we're talking about pictures. We're talking about challenges that people are doing. People are starting to hurt themselves right now, right?
Are they?
Yes. Have you seen the? Let me see the challenge where people throw the boiling water over their head.
Oh, it like where it
Do I
makes
have a
like
clip of this? Do I have a clip of this?
I'm
somewhere?
sure there's, but it's where
Okay,
it
no, I
like
got it.
turns it into snow, right?
Yes, it turns it into like liquid vapor, right? People are throwing it over their heads, but it turns into vapor and it goes away. But people are throwing boiling water on themselves because they're not throwing it hard enough or high enough. This guy's. So we'll play a few more, and it's
Minimums and fees seem to be the foundation of your typical bank.
Quiet, Capital One. Sorry, Capital One had to go. This guy throws it, and you see, it goes right on his heels there as he throws. It's graceful. Boom.
Ow.
And that's boiling hot
And there's
water.
a second to react, and then all of a sudden he drops the pan. And there was kind of a warning to go along with that, you know.
Go ahead.
Like, when you're doing this, don't use a pot. Don't hold it in a way that's obviously not going to work, which is kind of a vague guidance, right?
This one dumped boiling hot water all over them. Emily, don't do it.
I am filming.
So yeah, people want to throw it up in the air, and then they end up throwing boiling hot water on themselves.
Oh!
Ow.
Are you okay?
Well, and
He just threw water on himself. What a moron.
the temperature has to be right. I mean, this is really kind of a science experiment, and there's a reason why you should probably
Here's
leave
what makes
this
me
to
mad.
professionals.
Everybody saw this picture of Chicago freezing over. Some people doing the boiling water challenge, and like this guy, this one kind of makes me mad because he wastes the coffee. See, everybody goes up in the air and they film the air, but there's a lot of water that's still going to the ground. It's not all going up, and that's my problem with all of these. Is that like there's a lot of water still falling to the ground. The whole thing isn't freezing midair. But watch this, guys. This kind of shows this poor guy, poor soul. Just make up a coffee. It's coffee too. He's not even doing it with water. And excuse me, you see all that coffee? It's like he just threw his cup out.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's
what
a lot
waste.
of steam, but it's a waste of coffee. That kind of irked me the most.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
so that is indeed a waste.
Okay, so many schools,
Precious materials.
Many schools in Michigan, a waste of precious materials indeed, did close, but Upper Peninsula schools flexing their muscles, saying that they're not going to be closing schools. Now, some schools had the whole week off of school closings, right? The entire week.
Well, from Friday of last week till yesterday, a lot of schools were closed. So literally 7 days.
7 days, but one school, and this guy, Tim Hall, superintendent of Sault Ste. Marie Public Schools, normal, no delays. They said they sent out a message to the children, and let me get the camera set up on this so we can go full screen. Boom. Okay. It says, okay, Raider fans, the low we've seen today is about -15 and no wind. The roads are clear and ready to travel. We will be having school today. However, it's still pretty chilly and frostbite possibly. Yes, dress for the conditions wisely. Wesley's been wearing pants. Yay. Then they go down later. Tuesday. Okay, Raider family, -16. Dress accordingly. Let's have a Raider day. Okay, good. Moving on, they end up having to talk their kids into going to school, and they stayed open all week. And that got to me thinking, where is this place? In case you were wondering, well, we went. It's all the way over here, Drummond Island, Sault Ste. Marie. A small school of about 170 kids.
They're on the island.
They're on the
used
island.
to the,
There you
the
go. That's
extreme
where they're
weather.
at right there. Right next to it's, I guess, Detour Village has it. But I've never heard of the place, really, Drummond. Nor have I been there. But they were still having school this week.
Well, and they said that it was a few other schools in that area, too, were all, really troopers about it. So, I mean, you have to, continue on with your life when you're living in a part where part of the nation where it usually gets that kind of extreme weather.
Okay. P.S. Here we go. P.S. Other schools in the area are open today too, so you don't need to come in and say everyone else is closed. Why aren't we? Smiley face. I hate
Smiley
that.
face.
Smiley face. A lot of schools are trying to figure out what to do. They're going to have to add days come June. They're going to have to add days in the spring for legislation to happen. But I think back in 78, this happened. There was a big snowstorm everybody talks about where schools were closed. We got more snow last year, but it's been a lot colder this year.
Well, and that was really the danger, right? You know, they were concerned about the kids getting frostbitten, and it was just unsafe weather to be hanging out outside in.
Yep.
You know, so how do you feel about this? Do you feel like the school was being like troopers and they're like, oh, we've got a life to live? Or do you think that they were putting the kids at risk?
No, maybe putting the kids at risk. I think they felt confident that they could get all the schools to come in. Why do it? You know, what I said, my question is why? You know, is it to be tough? And, you know, our kids are tough and I don't know, like you can make the days up, like and let them enjoy a week off. I mean, that's what the snow days are for staying in. But anyway, that's what I like most about him. Let's do a little palate cleanse here. Here's this little guy getting ready for the snow himself. Have you ever seen a little boy so good right here? Look at this guy.
Little egg.
Look at this guy. Look at him getting cleaned up. There we go. Look at that. Just a perfect little egg shape. I don't think I've ever had an animal be so well behaved anywhere. Look at this guy. Look at him. And he's
Happy.
And he's ready. I think it's time for the movie review, Kendra. I think it's finally time for the movie. Yes, it's time for the movie review.
The bad movie review.
Every week, Kendra watches a movie. What would you say?
I mean, it's called the bad movie review. We could call it bad movies.
Yeah.
We could call it low budget films.
Sure.
We could call it cheeky films.
Yeah, bad movie review. This week, you take advice. You can take now. If you have a suggestion for Kendra, get in touch with her. Let her know what movie you want her to review next this week. I gave this one to you. I was excited about it. I'd asked about it, and I want you spit to the people.
Exactly. So I took AJ's recommendation, and I'm so glad I did because for too many years, I have been looking. I've been seeing all of these movies
Looking for what?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
It's called building the suspense, AJ.
Oh,
all these movies have portrayed fairies as these harmless little kind creatures.
Sorry, I had to get that one. Go ahead.
Yeah, echo even. Kind creatures. But now, a movie has come along that properly portrays the true dangers of the fairy realm, and that movie is Troll. Troll was the movie I reviewed this week. 1986.
Common internet cliche, though. You know, the troll is everywhere now. People use that word all the time. 1986, not so much.
Well, and when I looked up origins of the troll lore, internet troll was the second thing to pop up. So apparently internet trolls are pretty popular thing nowadays.
Back before the internet existed, it was Troll the original.
Exactly. Now I would actually call this movie like a children's adventure horror film. I mean, I understand you got to watch this film when you were a kid, right?
Scared the crap out of me.
Okay.
What year did it come out?
1986.
Yeah, it was like 5. It was terrible. It was terrifying.
And how old do you think you were when you watched it?
Yeah, about that. About that. Five or six, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, yeah. That might be a little young. This was
this ball. Like every kid had this ball, this bouncy ball that you see right here in the picture. We all had that ball. We all had the crazy unfinished basement.
And the sister with long straight blonde hair, right?
Well, I did. Yeah, go ahead.
But so this movie came out in 1986. Sorry, I'm distracted by the ball now. You've got me thinking about the ball.
So explain what's happening here. She goes down in the basement. What's happening?
So basically, we join this Potter family, and that's the little girl, Wendy Ann Potter. And pretty quickly, she's attacked by the troll.
Okay.
So she's been abducted. She's gone. We, as the audience, know that she is gone, but her family does not know. So the troll is pretending to be little Wendy Ann.
Okay.
So we get to see the troll pretending to be her.
He stabs him? He stabs him with a needle? I remember
with the
that.
Ring.
Oh my god.
The ring, so what the troll is trying to do is he's trying to open up a fairy portal in the world in order to bring fairyland back to the real world in order to like take over the world, right?
Okay.
And what he's doing is he's using each of these different apartments to open fairy portals. And so he's turning the people into like little fairies and things like nymphs and goblins and other trolls and elves.
Nice foliage. He turns them into the wilderness.
Well, and it does kind of follow a little bit of the fairy lore. Like I said, these fairy creatures are kind of mischievous. They do what they want. They don't really care what you want. They're gonna do what they want, which kind of follows in with what is traditionally said in the old timey folklore when it comes to these types of stories. So it kind of follows that spirit. Now, I would say that the advantages for this movie is that it's like the building has a really great array of characters, right?
Yeah.
So if do you remember any of the neighbors from the building?
No, I don't remember anything about this movie. No, I'm just listening to you.
Okay, so it has a ex-Marine.
Okay.
Is one of them. So he's a military guy. And then you've got the upstairs neighbor who's like the swinger, who's like not interested in kids being around because they're totally going to like...
Who's she? Who's this woman?
That is actually the fairy princess queen lady. Which is also what she goes by. Like the little boy quickly realizes that his sister is not his sister. Like he's the only one that's like, something is not right here.
Something's not right. Like, no, she's just normal.
Yeah, but he likes this old lady who's also in the building, and she's got all of this cool stuff in her apartment, so she's obviously a witch. And so she's helping him because the backstory is that the troll is actually her love from the medieval days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they were in love, but he wanted to take over the world with the power, and so like she's a protector of the realm or something like that. So it's all very like fairy world versus human world, and you know, so the neighbors are really like have these really great characters. One of the neighbors is like these lovebird couple, and they get kind of turned into like this nymph character, which is actually kind of cool because you see her like running through the forest.
You're really breaking this down, huh?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is actually the nymph
type
character you just saw.
I think I just saw
her. The negatives, there's a couple of negatives. One is, you know how like sometimes you'll go to carry something and it's not heavy, it's just like awkward to lift, right?
Yeah, she just lifted her brother across the room. Sorry.
And that happens a couple of times where the movie has like this smaller character lifting this giant character, and it just looks odd.
Watch this right here.
Funny.
She like throws her brother. Oh no, I missed it. Okay, never mind.
So that was one of the problems is like these smaller characters are throwing these larger characters around, and it just looks weird. It doesn't mesh.
The fighting don't work too well. There you go. She's gonna throw her brother. Boom.
Yeah. Obviously he's like, my baby sister's not my baby sister, guys.
Right.
And then the other thing that I had a problem with is like the entire movie, this older lady that Harry Potter Jr., because our main protagonist is actually the kid. This is why I call it a children's...
Okay, so he saves the day.
Yeah, this is really a children's adventure horror because it's the protagonist is a child.
Okay.
And you follow it from a child's point of view. But the older lady that he really likes and who's basically a badass also. Like at one point he asks her, "What do you do?" And she responds, "Anything I damn well please." So,
you like that?
Yeah, I did.
That's women Kendra looks up to.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's kind of ageist because she spends the entire movie as this elderly, very dignified looking lady. And then when she goes to battle the troll, she does a little bit of magic and becomes this younger, beautiful woman.
Actress? This one right here.
Yes, she becomes a younger woman.
That's no fair.
Exactly. Like if you're going to make the character be a badass older lady, just let her be a badass older lady.
Did she fight the troll with magic or physical power?
Well, that was also the lame part. He immediately like disarms her, so she immediately has to run away. So like she became this younger character only to immediately get disarmed
and then immediately spoiler alert action.
Yeah, I'm well into the spoilers this week, guys.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
So at this point, you know, it just doesn't feel like it didn't feel like it added a whole lot, and it made the character weaker, in my opinion. So I didn't really like that.
You know about the Harry Potter trolls? Do they have anything to do with those, like J.K. Rowling type trolls?
Well,
there's people trying to tie them together in chat, and I know you know the J.K. Rowling trolls pretty good.
well, they're not quite the same types of trolls
Okay.
from what I can tell. Like this kind of troll is like an old wizard who like became corrupted from the evil and the power. Is like the lore that goes along with this troll. But in the other trolls, they're typically like the old-fashioned lore is that they're in the mountains and that they like work with stone and they might throw stones and they're cranky and they're not helpful. You know, Billy Goat's gruff. So those type of trolls is the traditional trolls. But
From Empire Pictures, Troll. You know Empire Pictures, they're still around. No.
so, exactly. And there were no well-known names, I felt like, in this movie. I mean, this was directed by John Carl Bueller. It was written by Ed Naha. Michael Moriarty and Shelley Hack were some of the actresses in it. A movie that this reminded me of.
You ready to rate it?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to ratings. What did it remind you of?
It reminded me of Ernest Scared Stupid.
Okay, so this is the same costume person or no?
I did not check if it
right.
was the same
Dang,
costume
you have
person.
to get us for next week because you talked about that in that first one.
But it did very much a child's adventure horror movie. If your kid's interested in horror movie, this might be an okay one to get them started in.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we're on to the Starship Trooper rating, Kendra.
All right.
Do we have one Starship Trooper? Does it deserve a 1?
We have a Johnny Rico. Indeed we do. We have Johnny Rico.
Johnny Rico's there. Okay, do we have 2 Starship Troopers, Kendra? Oh, people want to know.
Yes, we have 2 Starship Troopers. Indeed, Troll gets 2 Starship Troopers as its score this week. That is our score.
You don't have to change your voice. I don't know why you're changing your voice. This is the way I talk. I'm the announcer.
That's the way I talk.
Okay. Do we have 3 Starship Troopers?
No 3 Starship Troopers. No.
Oh, denied.
Nope. Troll gets a Johnny Rico, Carmen Ibanez score this week. That's a 2 out of 5 Starship Troopers.
Johnny Rico and Carmen Ibanez. Very good.
Now, I would say that this was really brought down because it was a children's movie.
Damn it.
And it's not really a scary. It's not truly. It wasn't trying to be a bad horror, but 2 out of 5 Starship Troopers is what Troll got this week. And you can check it out if you want to. If you've got some kids, you're ready to expose them to the horror genre. This one scared
But it's worth your
AJ.
time. You watched it. You've been hearing about it for a while. Worth your time. I mean, you liked it, kind of, right?
I did like it. I did enjoy it in the fact that it was a children's film, that it followed kind of like fairy nostalgia of the old timey lore.
All right, I think we're ready for this one right here.
All right, I'm ready.
Absolute units, Kendra. Absolute. Look at this guy. We have a fat cat named Theodore, but I'm bringing to the table a cat that is the size of a flippin' teddy bear. Look at this guy. Look at. So this is where my internet hole started, basically. Okay, cute, right? Fluffy.
So
He's got a
fluffy.
cat with a backpack being held like a baby. Okay,
Yes.
He's got a backpack. But this led me down the absolute unit hole, and there are plenty of animals and plenty of things that you can call absolute units. Let's go through these one by one here. Okay, let's start off. Where do I want to start off? Let's start off at the freshest one, just to go a trip. Okay, these are obviously these birds of prey absolute units. Okay, these birds, units. Do you see them? Okay, you following? Are you with me, Kendra? Are you here?
I was trying to find it on my screen. I have
okay.
to just.
This fry someone got from Arby's an absolute unit. Yay.
Oh.
Just look here. Absolute unit, blueberry.
That is one hell of a blueberry.
This is what I'm talking about. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. That's an absolute unit. Also, don't want to see that in the forest. We're looking at a mountain lion, absolute unit mountain lion. Where'd your cat go? He had a perfect. This is almost your cat. This cat is huge, though. This cat is morbidly obese. That is way
he's
too
over
big.
Here. He's in the corner.
He's in the corner. Okay. And then finally, we'll leave off with the with the last of the surprise absolute units. Now this takes about a minute. Let me speed up a little bit.
Well, what are they doing here?
They're unloading fish onto a dock in a net, and they're unloading the fish, and out comes a walrus that was in the net with them. And you look at him, he's like, hey guys. I was just an absolute unit, and I was here, and that's today's absolute units. Yay!
Yes.
I thought it was a good palate cleanser.
I liked that. Yeah, that was good.
I mean, some of these units are just... Look at this guy. I'm sorry. I'm going to continue a little bit, but look at the absolute unit of a raccoon. We have a cat here, big bunny rabbit. These guys are just absolute units. So if you have one, send them into the show, okay? All right, we'll feature your absolute unit, okay? There it is. There he is. He's sitting like the cat does.
Oh yeah, that's the Theodore.
Tell everybody where they can find us today.
You can find us at shootthemessenger.net is our website. We keep that updated with the most recent stuff. iTunes is also a place you can find us. Spotify, Patreon /shootthemessenger. And then on Saturdays, 2:00, we're at twitch.tv/truthnow. You can watch us live, a live performance.
Yeah, and support the show via our Patreon. We'll get you something nice. Promise. So
we will.
This week in Reddit, what dire warning from your parents turned out to be bullshit? This week in Reddit. So you get told a lot of things as a kid from different teachers, different people in charge, things like that. And sometimes when you get older, you look back and that was some shitty advice. And here is some terrible advice. Starting with comment number 1. If you get in trouble at school, it will go on your permanent record and ruin your life. You know what? Childhood is the time to mess up, I guess.
Oh, yeah. It specifically before 18, because at that point, it's...
But if you start that habit early, are you going to be, prone to causing trouble later? Do you really want to cause trouble at a young age? That just says warning signs.
You are also correct about that. That is a bad sign that something needs to be addressed. But people can turn around their lives. It happens.
This guy went back to his old high school after a year. He graduated and asked to see what was on his permanent record, and they already thrown it away. What? Your permanent high school record. It was only permanent temporarily. Do high school kids really go back to high school to see if the record is still there?
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. Like my brother actually did something like that,
and they just
just because he knew that he was getting his teaching certificate and he wanted to see if the school actually still had it.
This one's awesome. I was born left-handed. My pops used to smack the shit out of me if I used my left hand, in essence forcing me to use my right hand. I probably constantly remind himself to use the hand with his birthmark on it to avoid smacks. As an adult, I asked my pops why he forced me to be right-handed, and he gave me some tepid response about, when you're left-handed, you have a tendency to pull that way when you're driving, exposing you to oncoming traffic. Kind of sounds like bullshit, doesn't it? He says, anyone have ideas? So left-handers pull towards oncoming traffic if they pull down more.
No way.
Maybe.
It's just superstition. They go on to talk about, somebody else talks about dexter is Latin for right, and sinister is Latin for left. So at some point, people just kind of associated left-handedness with evil. So people got superstitious about left-handedness. And I kind of believe that. People just get weird about oh, you're different. How dare you be different? Use your right hand.
No, people get smacked for, so left-handed, thank God for the United States. Somebody said they were in China, they got smacked if they used the left hand. So, anybody in a family that allowed them to use their left hand, they should feel fortunate because
I don't know. Even as late as the 70s, my aunt was left-handed and she had to deal with people being like, "No, use your right hand."
This one's parents told him that if you use one brand of shampoo and a different brand of conditioner, that your hair would fall out. Also, when I was 5 or 6, I asked what would happen if you went to the opposite way when you turned on your turn signal. My mom told me that the car would explode and kill us. Not why she told me that shit, but
because she thought it would be funny.
If you turn the other way with the blinker on, because it'll kill you. Because they don't want it. They're tired of the kids' questions, right?
Exactly. Just get them to shut up.
This kid believed that his 2 choices in life were Harvard or McDonald's. Anyway, there's kind of a gray area between those two.
Yeah, there is.
This one was told if you unscrew your belly button, your bum will fall off. Your bum will fall off. So there we go. He did his best to avoid screwdrivers for the large part of his childhood because he lacked the power to stuff them in his belly button.
He was just immediately like, screwdriver, belly button, go, engage.
Good.
The one that I like is the somebody said that their parents told them they would be unemployable if they didn't learn cursive handwriting. Yeah, I remember thinking like, oh yeah, cursive, it's really important, and I just use it for me.
The moment I stopped using cursive is I looked at my older brother, and he was at higher grade than me. He wrote all in writing. I'm like, you just write it out in, what did they call it? Like
regular print, yeah.
Printing. He was printing anyway. If that's what you call it, idiot. Anyway, he was printing, so I just printed the rest of my life. It changed it forever. Never again cursive. I'm like, well, my older brother does it. Watching TV will turn your brains into mush. That's what somebody's parents told them, and I think a lot of parents said that.
Sure.
Literally mush. Like kids would take it the wrong way. Any other good ones? My mom would always tell me to take that look off your face or it'll freeze like that. You ever been told that?
Yeah.
I was told that a lot, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a pretty classic one.
Somebody, she said she used pencil erasers in her dimples to avoid it. Okay, all right. Do you have any more to share?
I think that is all that I wanted to share.
That's good. Okay, I appreciate your honesty. Let's move on to the next one. Chess. Chess, anybody? It's being very, very popular to watch people play chess online right now. In and out phases. Do you ever know something so well that you can look over at your neighbor to see if they're doing it correctly? Maybe be work, or maybe it you just know that they're getting themselves in a world of trouble. Mm-hmm. For instance, a chess match. These guys are playing chess. Things haven't started off so good for the guy in white. The guy in white, his name is Levon, and the guy in the black is named Hikaru. And Hikaru is doing well in his game, but Havan just lost a major chess piece. I think he lost a rook or something, a bishop, and Hikaru doesn't like it. Let's go to the match. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
So here we are.
Is it Queen B1 and Rook D4? I don't know. So.
Queen B1.
He notices.
Do you know what? You know
look
what?
at the look.
I don't believe that. Look at.
What are you doing?
Look. Did you see that? Did anyone see it?
Look at that. Looks over. Gives him another, like, that's expressive. That's pretty good. Whoa, boy, you're getting yourself in a world of trouble there.
Mate.
That needs to be made. That needs to be made into a...
The announcers are going crazy. They're like, this needs to be memed. This looks like it took place in a library or something like that, you know. People watching them play chess, multiple boards set up. And look, he goes back for seconds. He continues. He just really, it's a great angle to watch this, and you know, I love the nature of people, man.
Eyebrows make or break a face, and this guy's eyebrows.
Yeah,
man.
The room doesn't even know though. The room doesn't know it's being live broadcasted, and people, you know, watching it are laughing their butts off here. So I love the last one. I mean, he can't take it anymore. He finally gets up.
He literally.
And just kind of has to like take a step back and watch though. You know, sometimes you see people in life doing things like that, and you kind of nothing left to do but make faces from time to time.
Well, and the worst part is when you get caught making those faces, and somebody's like, "What's up with your face?" and you're like, nothing. I just caught a sniff of I don't know."
With Kendra, you just say
sorry.
that's my resting face. That's just my usual face.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you say?
You try, but it doesn't always. People don't always fall for it.
Okay, let's get into Elon Musk this week. I'm not going to play the Elon song, but your moment of Elon Musk stories from time to time. Doing quite a bit. Every week, Elon Musk seems to break new barriers,
Always
break
got
new
something
ground.
new going on.
He's now the owner of Stank Memes. Elon, changing the world and proud owner of Stank Memes. There we go. We'll bring it up. From Mashable.com. Why? Because Dank Memes was taken. You take... he just bought Stank Memes. And you go to stankmemes.com and it says, because Dank Memes was taken. And that's what it is. Yeah, I don't know. That's
Is he just trolling us?
Yeah. Pretty much. I don't know what he's planning for Stank Memes. But he bought Stank Memes. That's number one. Okay. That's just my first article on Elon Musk today,
Elon had a lot going on this week, I guess.
We know in our hometown, one of the factories is being shut down in February that they used to produce metal for some of these Tesla cars because Tesla is doing cutbacks.
Some cutbacks,
right?
yeah.
SpaceX also doing cutbacks, right? They did layoffs, insane Mars rocket and satellite internet projects. So they're planning on putting up an outer web around the United States or around the world, instead of an interweb.
Internet access for like everybody around the world,
for
right?
everybody, right? So he did a lot of layoffs, and he also set new goals for SpaceX. He's like, not Mars, the moon. We need to get to the moon as fast as possible. That's what they're saying now. And this is from futurism.com. During a Twitter, I think it was last night, new details about SpaceX Raptor engine, which is super huge. You take a look at this engine, they have a guy standing next to it, and he's actually, it's large. I don't really know how jet engines, how big one's supposed to be, but it looks pretty large. Anyway, so now he's saying we need to land on the moon. They've already sold a ticket to a Japanese guy to fly around the moon. Mm-hmm. So small steps first, then Mars.
Well, and I mean, this would also be good for NASA because NASA is one of the paying customers for Tesla for SpaceX because we want to be able to use their ships to get to the moon and the International Space Station. Mm. So the quicker that they can get this stuff figured out, the better it will be for NASA and like the American economy.
They sold a trip to a Japanese billionaire around the moon. That's great income. I don't know if they didn't sell it for $1 billion. That would be even better income, but it didn't. Elon Musk is also now on the set of Star Wars. There's a Star Wars series coming out, and Elon Musk is going to be in it. So there we go. It's called Star Wars Live Action Series. It's a live action series. That just means it's taped, right?
Well, it's on the set of The Mandalorian.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, and I guess that this isn't the first time that Elon Musk has shown up in one of these directors' films.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he showed up in Jon Favreau's Iron Man 2. So
yep. Yes, he was.
There's a scene where Tony Stark walks up to a business person and is talking to a business person, and that's Elon Musk.
Yes, he was. I do remember that cameo.
So it's the same director that's doing the Star Wars did that.
Is it series, right? I did get it right. It's a Star Wars made-for-TV series that's happening, right? That's what I assume. Anyway, he's doing a movie. He's doing loss. He lost 10% of his company on one hand, and then he realigned his goals on the other hand. That's what I got for Elon Musk this week.
Upcoming space opera web television series scheduled to premiere on Disney Plus, The Mandalorian. Yes, very good.
Mandalorian.
Yes.
All right. Well, as far as everything else goes, Kendra, tell the people one more time where to find us, and we'll say our goodbyes real quick, and just get a personal note on what we're going to do to wrap things up and our goals for next week. Okay. How about that?
You can check us out on our website, shootthemessenger.net. So it's Shoot the Messenger on the internet, shootthemessenger.net.
All right.
Sorry. Also, iTunes, Spotify. You can check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/shootthemessenger. Mm. And also, Saturdays at 2 o'clock, we're right here on twitch.tv/Truce Now.
Well, it was a quick one today. A quick one, but we're in and out. But I'm fine with that. We got big shows. Like, anybody who knows, my sister's being involved. I know Michelle Kiesel's being involved. We have shows with due dates, and now we just had a week taken away from us, basically, of getting stuff done for our performance live. So we're going to have to catch up on that, but we'll make sure it happens, and it should be fun talking about it next week to find out where we land.
Yeah, I'm excited to find out all about how the kids are doing with Charlie Brown.
Okay, well, that's it for us. We're going to leave you with the intro one more time. How about that? Should we leave them with the intro one more time?
I think that sounds delightful.
Okay, y'all, take it easy till next week. Shoot the messenger, because in this day and age of news and propaganda, it's better to shoot first, right?
Just like Han.
Just shoot first like Han. Thank you very much. That's the end of the show, everybody. And
see you next week.
Yeah, give me something good to go out on.
Well, that was it. We'll seeing you next week.
See you next week.